What up, everybody? Today I'm going to be continuing my power move series that I began during Ghost Season 3. Except instead of breaking down a series of moves from one particular episode, I'm going to break down one move that a particular character has a history of using. Of course, I will also be referencing to the book 48 Laws of Power during this series, because it has been said when creating power, 50 Cent based it off the book 48 Laws of Power, but from the perspective of the drug game and the streets. If you have not checked out the book, I encourage you to do so. You can even listen to the audio version on Audible. So today I'm going to be talking about Tariq St. Patrick and how he utilizes Power Law 13 when asking for help, appeal to the self-interest of others, never to their mercy or gratitude. But before I get into how Tariq masterfully uses this law, I'm going to talk about transgression of the law. In the Ghost Season 3 finale, Tariq reunited with his dear old Uncle Tommy, who is also Tariq's godfather and has been there for Tariq since birth. Tommy let Tariq know that him and Tasha had squashed their beef and that everything is good between them now. But Tariq still wanted revenge on Monet for trying to set his mom up to die. But Tommy told him by doing this he would start a war, and also went on to talk about being all in or all out, that he can't play the middle like Ghost did. And Tariq said, "Alright, say I'm all in. You care, right? You prove that by having my back." This did not make Tommy feel obligated to help at all. What he did was laugh at Tariq and said, "This isn't my war. Plus in New York, I'm already dead." Tariq made the mistake here, thinking because of his and Tommy's long-lasting relationship, he did not have to follow this law and that he could appeal to Tommy's mercy instead. But trying to make someone feel obligated to help you, or by trying to make them feel guilty, you will only irritate them. Tariq thought that because of their relationship that Tommy would have a selfless interest in helping him, and that he did not need to appeal to Tommy's own interest. Tariq was blinded in the moment by his own wants and desires. Feeling betrayed by Monet, he wanted revenge. Here Tariq also made the mistake of mistaking his needs with Tommy's, and thought that Tommy would be willing to help for the greater good. But when asking for help, never believe that justice or nobility will help. Tariq would have been better off asking for Tommy's help by offering him something. Right now, as far as we know, Tommy doesn't even have a plug, so maybe a sit down with Noma would have intrigued Tommy. We also know that Ghost and Tommy used to be partners, so maybe if Tariq would have offered to replace Ghost and start working with Tommy in the drug business, or Tariq could have just flat out asked Tommy what he could do in return for Tommy helping him. Now I'm going to get into observance of the law. Tariq possibly learned this through his mom, Tasha St. Patrick, when she got him into Stansfield. She was able to do this by appealing to Simon Stern's self-interest and offering him club truth. Stern initially said he would buy asking. How much did he have to pay? Then Tasha hit Stern with what she needed, help with Tariq getting into Stansfield. And by doing this, she would give him truth, an offer Simon Stern could not refuse. Now, not everybody has a club to offer as a favor, but keep in mind how wealthy Simon Stern is. If Tasha would have just asked for a favor or tried to bribe him with money, it might not have worked. She used the one thing Stern always wanted and never could have, club truth. So now let me get into Tariq using this law. Ghost Season 1, Tasha was in jail facing the murder charge of James St. Patrick, and Tariq needed a way to pay for her lawyer, Davis McLean, so he had no choice but to get back into the drug game. But Tariq had no plug and no product to move. After stealing Effie's product and Braden getting some scripts to sell, they had a bag full of money, but this was no long-term solution. He had to convince Monet Tejada to become his plug. And this was really going to take some convincing because she had told Zeke she don't ever want to see Tariq again. So when Tariq got his 5 minutes, he started off by saying they need to come to an agreement and handed Monet a bag of money. She told Tariq straight up, she don't need this, she has enough of her own. Then Tariq told her, I made this in just a few hours without ever leaving campus. How much time does it take you to make money like that? He went on to say, the students here don't do anything but party and study. We could make a killing here. All I need is a supplier. Monet replied, a supplier? I don't know you. I can't trust you. Then Tariq said, you trust me with Zeke's grades? And Monet told him, that's different. My business is in Queens. It can't touch him here. This statement showed Tariq that Monet had a motive even greater than making money and that her priority was Zeke. So he said, so Zeke's your priority? And Monet replied, yup, that's all Tariq needed. Then he hit Monet with the cold hard truth. So what happens if I fell out of here trying to take care of my family? Who's going to have his back then? Who's going to keep him on the court? And wrapped up the conversation by saying, if you work with me, no one will ever even know your name. See, Tariq started off from the jump this time, showing that working with him would benefit Monet by giving her a bag of money, never mentioning why he needed to hustle as an attempt to appeal for her mercy. Then when he found out that Zeke was her priority, he exaggerated out of proportion him helping Zeke in relationship with moving weight and said he might fell out of school and wouldn't be able to help Zeke at all anymore. When asking for help, always emphasize the benefit the person will gain out of proportion to everything else. Getting me to the next example. In Ghost Season 3, Yas was put into the system and Tariq needed to locate her and gain custody. But he needed someone with power and influence to help. Luckily for him, Rashad Tate just got a job at Stansfield. So after class, Tariq told Tate, do you really believe what you said about both parties being able to gain from an interaction? Because I need some help in the family court system. Tate's reply was, that's a tall mountain to climb, showing no interest to help at all. Remember how much Tate hated Ghost, and this was his first time seeing Tariq at Stansfield. So Tariq's reply was, yes it is. What do you need? What could I do for you? Tate laughed and was about to tell Tariq he can't do nothing for him before thinking and asking Tariq if he knows any Westons. And the rest is history, and Tate is now on his way to becoming a U.S. congressman. See, here Tariq didn't appeal to Tate's love or gratitude, trying to explain to him the bigger picture of his sister being in foster care. He understood Tate's psychology from the classroom discussion. But self-interest is a lever that will move people. And once Tariq showed Tate that he could meet his needs, Tate's resistance of helping Tariq magically fell away. Tate enthusiastically responded because there was something to be gained for himself. Getting me to RSJ. Now Tariq has used this method on RSJ twice. The first time after RSJ rejected Lucas Weston, and Tariq found out that he was interested in the QCP. But for this example, I'm going to talk about the time he didn't have a whole building to offer. Tariq just found out that Weston Holdings was a Ponzi scheme and decided to approach RSJ as a way to get his money back. But when approaching RSJ, he initially straight up told RSJ Weston Holdings was a Ponzi scheme to see how RSJ would respond. Then RSJ said he would take Tariq to the SEC the next morning and make sure that he wasn't implicated. Tariq replied, whoa, if you do that, you won't get a dime back. Still not mentioning what he had to lose. It wasn't until RSJ got mad and started blaming Tariq where Tariq revealed his own self-interest in the matter. And we know that Tariq played RSJ like a pawn and had him right there in Lucas Weston's office blackmailing him for money. Getting me to my final example, which is a two-part example, both an observance of the law and a transgression of the law. After all frap no cap was raided by the feds and the street operation was put on pause, Tariq had to appeal to Obi to stall Noma. Tariq came to Obi asking him to stall Noma for a couple days until they met the quota. Obi's reply was, I'm looking forward to Noma killing you. Tariq's reply to that was, look man, what can I do for you? And here we know that Obi asked Tariq for green cards. A man like Obi only knows warfare and practical results. Trying to appeal to his mercy or explaining to him all the weight they already moved would have been a waste of time. So Tariq had to appeal to Obi's self-interest to obtain a simple favor. Then in order to get the green cards, Tariq yet again had to turn to Rashad Tate. This is where Tariq made a vital mistake. Tariq reminded Tate about the tip for the Russian raid and that he was already paying him 5 bands a week. But Tate even told Tariq he still needed more, but Tariq didn't get it. When asking for help, don't think you can rely on past assistance or good deeds, especially with a man like Tate. The only emotion you can appeal to when dealing with such a man is greed. If Tariq would have told Tate the truth and offered him something, Tate might not have exposed Weston Holdings, causing Tariq to lose his inheritance. But nonetheless, in the end, Tate got the green cards for Tariq, just at a big cost. But this also saved Tariq's life in the end, because Obi did show gratitude to Tariq by telling Braden of Noma's plan to clip Tariq. And I will get into in another video on this series why losing his inheritance will be a blessing in the end. And there you have it, how to ask for help like Tariq St. Patrick. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.